In this video, I'm going to be giving my fight prediction for Aspinall vs Gane, which is happening on October the 25th, 2025, and it's for the heavyweight championship. Now, as a fellow Englishman, I'm going to try my hardest not to be biased in this prediction, but I'm sure I will have a little bit of bias. So if you have a problem with that, then please don't watch this video. And if you leave a hate comment, I'm probably going to ignore you. So yeah, there's Ciryl Gane versus Tom Aspinall. Who do I think is going to win this fight? Let's talk about Ciryl Gane's last few performances. His last fight was against Alexander Volkov, and it went to a split decision. And many argue that Volkov was actually robbed in that fight. And I'm inclined to agree. And this isn't a diss at Ciryl Gane. He's a great kickboxer. Brilliant. I love his style, in and out.
What do you mean by that?
He just hops back and forth. He's very similar to Aspinall in that he can close distance very quickly and he's defensively very, very good. He's very light on his feet. He loves kicks. He's good with front kicks. His boxing's very good as well. And he's bald as well. So he's a little bit quicker. You know, he doesn't have hair holding him back. I actually read somewhere, right? You're not going to believe this, yeah? That apparently calling someone bald is sexual harassment. That's fucking stupid. Anyway, I'm digressing from the point of this video. I just thought I'd mention that. See, as I said, he has a very bouncy in and out kickboxing style, very similar to Aspinall as well. However, his game is not complete from what we've seen. His ground game seems very limited, and you could see that very clearly in his fight against Jon Jones. Jon Jones immediately took him down, and he was making basic errors. Basic defensive errors, which then allowed Jon Jones to get the submission on him. And this is going to be a real problem if he's coming up against Tom Aspinall, because Tom Aspinall is great in every single area. He's brilliant with boxing. He's amazing at kicking. His ground game, although we haven't seen too much of it because he is just such a devastating finisher. He's good everywhere. And Ciryl Gane hasn't shown that he is good everywhere yet. You know, so this could be a real test to see how good Ciryl Gane's ground game has become. And to be honest, I don't think we're going to see much improvement from him. I think since his fight against Jon Jones, yeah, it was a while ago, but it takes years and years and years to develop your skills on the ground. You don't just learn things like that overnight. You don't become a black belt overnight, you know. It takes years and years of repetitive training. But anyway, let's talk about Tom Aspinall, shall we? So Tom Aspinall, his speed and power is out of this world. It's particularly his speed. He's by far the fastest, the most devastating finisher in the UFC right now. And I would say in the whole of the UFC. Like, let alone the heavyweight division. I've never seen a man his size in UFC history or even in boxing history that can move that quick, can blitz his opponent that quickly. He's got a brilliant eye for seeing the right shot at the right time and landing it almost every single time. And Aspinall's style is sort of like a boxing style, if I'm honest. It's sort of a hybrid between a boxing style and a kickboxing style. As I said, he was a black belt in jiu-jitsu as well. And his ground game is so much stronger than Gane's, at least from what we've seen. You know, Aspinall submitted... what was his name? He submitted Alexander Volkov in the second round. It was with an armbar. I think it was an armbar. I might be wrong. But either way, he submitted Volkov, and Volkov's very, very good on the ground. You know, did you see that slip in the fight? Did you see Aspinall slip that shot from Volkov and just dip under it, grab the single leg, took him down, put him straight into a submission? It was a thing of beauty. And I believe that this could happen very easily against Ciryl Gane. And with Aspinall, with everything that has happened in the last year or so, with Jon Jones avoiding him like the plague and holding up his careers and holding up everyone else's careers in the heavyweight division, I think Aspinall, even though he made light work of Curtis Blaydes in their rematch, we can't really count the first fight between Tom Aspinall and Curtis Blaydes. We can't really count that first one as a real fight because the guy got injured. Sure, Curtis Blaydes won. He, technically won the fight because Tom Aspinall got injured, but you can't really call that a proper win. And Tom Aspinall got that win back and avenged that loss in devastating fashion. It was brilliant. It was unbelievable. Even though he made a huge statement in that fight against Blaydes, I believe that he has to make even bigger statement now against Ciryl Gane, because Jon Jones fought Ciryl Gane, and he made very light work of Ciryl Gane, Obviously, he took advantage of the fact that Ciryl Gane had no ground game, but if Tom Aspinall wants to really make a statement, he has to go and demolish Ciryl Gane. In my opinion, he has to go and finish him in a shorter time that Jon Jones did. And he probably will. But to be honest, I think regardless of how quickly you finish it, I think it would mean more if Tom Aspinall actually stood up and made the fight a stand-up fight, at least for the first 1 or 2 rounds. I believe that would really put him up in terms of, respect, because Jon Jones knew that his stand-up wasn't as good as Ciryl Gane's, in my opinion. Jon Jones's boxing's never really been that good. He's never been known for his power with his punches. However, he has been known very well for his kicks. He's good with a Muay Thai clinch with elbows and knees, and his ground game is exceptional. And Ciryl Gane's ground game is not exceptional. His boxing's very good, and his kickboxing's very good. And I'm pretty sure his Muay Thai's pretty good as well. Jon Jones knew that and didn't want to take that chance. If you saw my last video against Jon Jones, you'll know my thoughts about the guy. But I think Tom Aspinall, if he wants to make a real statement, if he wants to earn real respect from everyone, which he's already got, but if he wants a bit more, I believe that he should keep the fight standing up for the first round or 2 and really show off how good his stand-up game really is against Ciryl Gane, because ultimately, that's what the fans want. The fans don't want Tom Aspinall to go in there and submit him in the first round. It'll be great for his record, and it'll be brilliant. It is martial arts, it does include wrestling. But the fans want to see a stand-up fight against 2 kickboxers. That's what we want to see. We want to see a bloodbath. We want to see a war on the feet. So anyway, if Aspinall wins this fight against Ciryl Gane in dominating fashion, in my opinion, that levels him with Jon Jones, if not puts him up. Because Jon Jones didn't have the balls to stand with him for very long. The second that shots started firing in the Jon Jones versus Ciryl Gane fight, he took him down and submitted him. He didn't want anything to do with it, anything to do with his striking. I think Tom Aspinall should want something to do with his striking. I think they should strike. As for my prediction, I'm totally not biased. Yes, I'm English, and I believe that Tom Aspinall is going to win this fight, either by first round or second round TKO. I don't believe that Tom Aspinall's going to knock him out flat. I believe that he will probably knock him down once or twice, swarming on him the same way he did with Curtis Blades, and I believe that it will be a second round TKO. I could be wrong. Let me know in the comments section down below what your opinion is on this, who you think's going to win. I'm more than happy for people to share their opinion if it's different to mine. I'm sure a lot of people, maybe French people who might be watching this video, will be thinking that Ciryl Gane wins, and that's cool. I don't blame you. He's French, you're French, you got to back your guy, but I'm English, and I've got to back my guy. And I believe that Tom Aspinall's going to win in the second round via TKO. Let me know what you think of this take. Leave a comment down below. Let me know who you think's going to win this fight and why and how he's going to win this fight. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Turn the bell notifications on so you get notified every single time I post a new video. And I will see you guys in the next one.